In this video, you will learn about File Explorer in Windows 11. Hi, I'm Jackie Strobel. Let's get started. The main tool for managing files in Microsoft Windows 11 is File Explorer, a powerful tool filled with features that can streamline your work processes and make it easier to find files of all types. More than any other feature in Windows, the search tools have the potential to change the way you work. If your filing philosophy involves the digital equivalent of throwing everything into a shoebox, you'll be excited at how easy it is to find what you are looking for. Let's dive into File Explorer. On your taskbar, find the File Explorer icon and click on it. Let's do an overview of File Explorer. Starting from the top are your tabs. The current tab is Documents. If you were to right-click and select Duplicate Tab, now you would have two tabs. I will click on the X to close it. Underneath the tabs, you have the address bar. The address bar consists of the back to home arrow, the forward, to move up, to refresh, and it shows the path of your current file. And on the far right, you have the search box that allows you to search for any type of file or folder. The next row is called your command bar. In the command bar, you have various buttons that you can do, such as create a new folder, cut, copy, rename, move, and so forth. The items are grayed out because nothing is selected, but we'll get to that in a moment. Then on the left, you have the navigation pane. The navigation pane is divided into three sections. At the very top, you have Home, which is new in Windows 11. You have your Gallery, and you have your OneDrive. Underneath this section, you have your desktop. Downloads, documents, pictures, music, videos. You can see the icons that represent that particular function. You also have a list of the most current folders that you opened within Documents. The last section is This PC. It also shows any flash drives that are connected to your computer and your network. In the middle, you have the details of your files and folders. Based on the setting that you have set will determine how it will appear. And then on the right, you have what is called your preview. Click on the preview and this will show a preview of your item. Because I clicked on a folder, there's nothing to preview. But when you click on the file and then click on preview, it will show you a preview of what the document consists of. And that is an overview of your File Explorer window. Now let's go a little bit deeper into each of these elements. Let's dive a little deeper into the address bar. The address bar will have a left arrow, which will take you back a level. It will only be available if there is something to go back to. For example, you will notice that the right arrow is grayed out because I have not moved forward to any other level from which I am able to move forward to. But let's go ahead and take a look to see how that works. For example, I'm in Documents, and then I will click on the Camtasia folder. And then I will click on the first folder here as well. So as I continue to navigate into different folders, then when I click on the left arrow, then it will take me back a level. The forward arrow is now activated because there is something that I can go forward to. The up arrow is very similar to the left arrow. When you click on it, it also takes you back a level. The next feature is called the refresh button. Applying a refresh will improve the performance. Over time, your computer may slow down due to various factors like memory cache accumulation, background processes, or software bugs. So refreshing can help alleviate these issues, which will lead to a smoother experience. A refresh will also update visual information. When working with applications, refreshing will ensure that you see the most current data available, especially in web browsers, document editors, and File Explorer tools. A refresh will also clear minor glitches. Sometimes applications may freeze, become unresponsive, or display outdated content. A refresh can often fix this issue without the need for a complete system reboot. So when you want to do a refresh, you put your mouse on the refresh button and you click on it. And voila, it is done. The next area in the address bar will show the path. The first option shows the status of the cloud for your OneDrive. Currently, I have paused my OneDrive, but in the event you want to resync it, you simply click on it and then click Resume Syncing. And that will actually sync your OneDrive back to your PC. The message now shows low storage because it's letting me know that I am running low on my OneDrive, which is why I paused my cloud. And I'll go ahead and do that real quick over here. So on the taskbar, I will click on the cloud and click on the settings and click pause sync. And then I'll select 24 hours. So back to the file path, when you double click on a folder such as Camtasia, and while I click on additional folders, observe the address bar, how it will show you each folder that I am accessing. So as I click on each one, it shows up at the very top. Now, what's cool about this is as you continue to click on multiple folders, eventually you are not going to be able to see everything. So it will only show you the most recent one. But what's nice to know is you can click on these three buttons, and the three buttons will also help you navigate. But you can also click directly on the folder that you want to go directly to. So if I do not want to click on the back arrow, I can click on Camtasia, and that takes me directly to the Camtasia folder. And on the far right of your address bar is your Search Documents box. This is an awesome feature that allows you to search any folder or file. And the way that you use it is first you click on the actual location that you want to search. So for example, if you know there is a document underneath Documents that you are searching for, then you click on the documents in the navigation pane, and in the search, you can type a folder such as Camtasia. And as you type, you will see various items show up that includes the word Camtasia anywhere in the folder name or the file name. Once you see what you are looking for, then you can tap on it. So that was an example of a folder, but let's take a look of a file. Click on Documents, and in the Search Documents box, I will type the word fiber and it will appear. If you want to search a different location, such as a flash drive, click on the flash drive and repeat the same steps in the search box. If you want to search your entire location, click on this PC and then in the search box, type what you are looking for, such as fiber. It will take a little while for the search to go through your entire computer to locate what you are looking for. As you can see, the little circle on the tab is spinning because it is still locating all of the files and documents that have the word fiber in it. Once you start typing the actual folder name or file name that you are searching for, when it appears, it's going to give you the location of where it's at. You can also click on it to access it. And that was your address bar. Now let's move to the command bar. You may find yourself spending more time in this section as you use the features such as creating a new folder, cutting, copying, pasting, moving, renaming, deleting, sorting, and setting different types of views. In the command bar, there is a button that is called New. This allows you to create a new item in the current location. When you click on it, it will give you all of the options that you can select from. You can create a new folder. You can create a shortcut. You can open up a new Microsoft Access database. You can open up a brand new Microsoft Word document. You can open up a new PowerPoint, and so forth. Even at the bottom, you can create a compressed zipped folder. Let's go ahead and click on Folder. And underneath Documents, it will automatically show the new folder in blue highlighted. For simplicity, I will just call this a sample folder. You type the name of it and press Enter, and now the folder is created. To open up the folder, you double-click. And now you are inside the folder and you can add contents, or if you're saving a document, you can save a document within this folder. To create subfolders, which is a folder inside of another folder, you go inside the current folder and you can click on New again and click on Folder. So for example, we'll call this Part A and then press Enter. So you can see when it comes to folders, your opportunities are endless. You can create as many folders and subfolders and more subfolders as you see fit. In the address bar, you will see the actual name of the folders listed. As you click on Part A, it will also appear on the address bar. Click on the New again, and let's click on Microsoft Word document. This opens up a blank document ready for you to create it. We'll give it a name, Apple Pie. Press Enter. Now you've named the file, and when you click on it, it will be empty because nothing is there. But this is a quick way to open up a blank document for any of the Microsoft Office applications without having to open the actual application. Let's look at another option that's underneath New, and that is a shortcut. A shortcut is a quick way to access a particular folder or file. You want to be in the actual location of where you want to put the shortcut. Let's create a shortcut on our desktop. Click on the actual location where you want the shortcut, and then click on New, and then click on Shortcut. This will allow you to navigate to where the folders are. So underneath, type the location of the item. You can also use the Browse button. I will navigate to Documents and click on Camtasia, and then click on the first folder, which is Baking Videos, and then I will click on the CE Baking T1 Spring, and then I will click OK, and then click on Next, and you can change the name of the shortcut if you wish. I will leave it as is. Click on Finish. So now underneath the desktop, you can actually see the shortcut. So on the top right, I will click on the X to close this window, and here it is on my desktop. So now when I click on it, it immediately will open up the contents that are in this folder. This makes it so much easier to navigate to those particular files or folders that are embedded deep. Here's how you remove a shortcut. I will click on the X to close this dialog box, right-click, and select Delete. And now that shortcut is deleted from your desktop. Good news, that folder still exists in your main folder. And to check that out, here I am. I am underneath Documents, Camtasia, CE Baking Videos, and here is the folder. I will click on Documents. Now let's explore the Cut. The Cut button will allow you to cut a file or a folder and put it in a different location. Back to the New, I will click on a folder and I will call this SAC and then press Enter. Now I want to cut a particular folder and move it into the SAC. Put your mouse on the folder in which you want to move, click on the Cut button, and you can also right-click as well and select Cut from the drop-down menu. Click on Cut and double-click twice where you want to paste the new folder to. Right-click and select Paste. And now you have moved the folder called Career Center into the SAC folder. You can click on the up arrow on the address bar to see the SAC folder. Double-click again. There is the folder. Folders can be cut and pasted between any folder that is on your computer, whether it's desktop, documents, or on a flash drive. Sometimes you need to copy a folder. Maybe there's all the information that you need, but only need to make a couple of adjustments. Here's an example. When I teach a class, I copy the folder and then I rename it, referring to the current semester, and then I just remove or edit the pieces that need to be changed for the new class. Let's go ahead and make a copy of a folder. We will click on SAC and click on the copy button that is on the command bar. And when you copy it, then you can click on the location where you want to paste it. So let's pretend I want to paste this in a different location. Click on the Seagate hard drive. Make sure you do not click on a folder, otherwise it will be copied into the folder. and that's not what I want. I want to paste it so that it is on the same level as all of the other folders, and it will automatically show at the bottom. So when you paste, you have the option to click on the paste. The other option is you can use the paste button that is on the command bar. To rename a folder, you put your mouse on the folder and right-click and select Rename. You also have the Rename button on the command bar. When you click on it, then you can give it a new name, Santa Ana Demo, and then press Enter. And now the folder is renamed. This is also true in the event you want to rename a file. The other option that you have on the command bar is the Share button. You can click on any Word document and click on Share, and then you can identify who you would like to share it with. If you want to delete a file or a folder, click on the folder, such as Santa Ana Demo, and then on the command bar, click on Delete. The next button on the command bar is your sort. This is a great feature that allows you to sort your current content by name, by the date modified, the type. You have more options that you can also sort by size or the date that it was created, or the author's tags or title. You can sort by ascending, descending, and you can even use the group by. Click Date Modified By, that it is sorted by date modified. When you click on the header at the top, Date Modified, that will automatically switch it from old to new or from new to old. The other option you can sort by is type. You can either use the heading at the top and click on the down arrow, and you can choose how you want to sort this by, or you can click on the sort button and click on type, as it sorts all of the types together. Now all of the file folders are together. You will see that the similar files are together. The JPEGs, the PDFs, the Word documents. So though you can click on the sort button on the command bar, you can also sort by clicking on the actual name of the field at the top of each column. It will sort it by name, and you will see that the W is there first, and then when you click on it again, then it will sort it by from A to Z. We talked about the date modification, you have the type, you have the size, and all of these are options for you to sort. But if you want to go a little deeper, the sort button on the command bar would be your best. Since we are here, let's go ahead and see how we can actually rearrange some of these items. Let's pretend that you want to see in your first column the date modified. You put your mouse on the date modified header, click, hold, and drag it to the left. You will see the actual date, and then you have the name. Because the items is still a folder, the folder icon will still appear. So I will click on the date modified and move it back to where it was. You can also expand the width of any of these columns by putting your mouse between the columns until you see a solid black cross with a two-headed arrow. Click, hold, and drag. That will expand it, or you can narrow it. Here's a tip. In the event that you want to sort particular files or folders and you're not getting the results that you want, include a 1 in front of the folder name or file name, and that is going to control what is on the first. So for example, you can see that I have 1A content, and I have 1 Rancho Santiago. Well, Rancho Santiago is further down the alphabet, and I don't feel like scrolling down. So in order for that folder to be right at the top, I put a 1 in front of it. Because when you add a number to any of your files or folders, the number is going to control what is first. So when it comes to sorting, numbers and spaces will come first, then the alphabet. And an example of that is here. 1 Rancho comes before 1B. We know B is before R, but because there is a space between the 1 and the R, that takes precedence over 1B. The same is true in the event you want a folder to always be at the bottom. Put the letter Z in front of the folder or file name, and it will be placed at the bottom of your list. And here's another tip on how to manage multiple folders. When you have many folders that are related, that may be time to create another folder at a broader category. Here's an example. I have folders all related to OCC. This may be a time to create a folder called OCC and then move all of these folders within it. Here's how to quickly manage multiple folders into a new folder. Click on New, click on Folder, type OCC as the name of the new folder. It will automatically be at the bottom of the list. Click on the first folder, hold your Shift key, and click on the last folder, and all of the folders are automatically selected. Right-click and select Cut, or you can use the Cut button on the command bar. Scroll down to the new folder, double-click to open it, right-click, and select Paste, or you can use the Paste button on the command bar. And all the folders are automatically moved. But here's another tip. In the event that you want to move folders that are not together, instead of holding the Shift key, which selects everything in between, you click on the Control key. Hold the Control key and click on Other Folders, and this is called non-contiguous text. So now you have selected folders that are not together, and they can also be moved to another location. This is true also for files. Looking at one particular folder, sometimes you have folders in which there's many things, sometimes there's just a few. You want to be careful that you do not get into the habit of creating a folder with just one or two things, and then another folder with one or two things. If that is the case, you're better off to create a folder that has the name that encompasses everything that's in that folder. Here's an example of a folder that has many things in it. It's called Excel Assignments. When I click on it, you have a folder for each activity. As you develop folders, you will identify what is working for you and what is not. When you are having to do a lot of clicking, then that means your folder system is probably too deep. You may want to condense so you do not have to click so many times. At the same time, you want to be careful that, again, you don't want to have a folder for just one or two items. The bottom line is you need to create folders that are going to work best for you so that you can be productive, efficient, and get to your content as quickly as possible. So these are some helpful tips that will help you manage and organize your files more efficiently. The next item on the command bar is View. This allows you to look at your files and folders in various ways, such as extra large icons, or large icons, or medium icons, or small icons. Still further, you have other options, such as list, details, tiles, and content. My favorite is the details. Why? Because it shows me the date that it was created, it gives me the type, and it gives me the size. Other options that are in this menu are the Details pane. The Details pane opens up on the right-hand side, giving you information about the file, such as the type, size, location, and other various things, such as properties. You also have the opportunity to share from this pane. The other option is Preview pane. It opens the Preview pane on the right so that you can preview the document to see what is in it, to ensure that is the right file that you want to open. And lastly, we have the Show. The Show option has another submenu that has the navigation pane, which you can turn off or you can turn it back on. The left side with the folders have disappeared. When you click on the Show navigation pane, it reappears. The other option underneath Show is Compact View. It will switch the view so there's more space in between each file. Going back to that Show again, you will see that the option now is Compact View, which means when I click on that, it's going to compress and remove the extra space. The other option is Item Checkboxes. That's in the event you want to check multiple items so that you see what's checked and then you can move them or copy them accordingly. The other option is File Name Extensions. This is in the event that you want to see the extension of the document. This is not recommended, but I'll explain what it is. You have the type, which tells me the type of file, whether it's a Word document or if it's a JPEG file or if it's a Excel spreadsheet, whatever it is, whatever type. There's various types of applications which come with their own unique extension. But in the file name, the actual extension is included. For each program, there is a unique extension. For example, for Word documents, it's .docx. For PDF files, it's .pdf. For an image, .jpeg, and so forth. So, if you're not sure the file extension that your file has, this may be a good option because then you can see what it is. But be careful because when you're naming files, you usually do not add that. And sometimes it can be a little bit confusing where people think that when they're naming a file that they have to include the extension and you do not. So it's very, very critical. It actually can make it a little bit confusing if you see .docx, the one that you've typed and the one that the system automatically includes. So be careful with this feature. But if you need to know the extension, this is how you can see it. The other option is hidden items. This can show or hide the files and folders that are marked as hidden. And moving on to the three dots that are at the end of the command bar. This allows you to undo a feature. You can compress to a zip file or a folder. You can add to favorites. You can copy the path, which we learned what the path was earlier when I talked about the address bar. So you can copy that and paste it to the clipboard. You can select all, select none. You can invert selection. You can open up your properties. You can look at more options. When you click on properties, that will automatically give this dialog box that has three separate tabs. You have the general tab, which shows you the location, the size, the date that it was created, when it was modified, and whether or not you have any particular attributes, such as read-only or hidden, and you have your advanced features. Then you have the second tab, which is digital signatures. Then you have details, provides you all the details of the document. Very similar to the file that we saw when we selected details underneath details pane. The three dots, the last option is options. Opens up the folder options for you to go over each one of these and see if there's any properties here that you find helpful. You have the General tab. This allows you to browse your folders. You can open each folder in the same window, or you can select to open each folder in its own window. You can click items as follows. The default is double-click to open an item and single-click to select. However, there is an option that says single-click to open an item and point to select. Then you have privacy. You can show recently used files. You can show frequently used folders. You can show recommended section. You can include account-based insights, recent favorites, and recommended files. And you can also clear File Explorer history. You can also restore defaults. You have other two tabs, the View tab and you have the Search tab. I encourage you to take a look at this and explore and see what is here. This just gives you more information, more flexibility on how to manage your folders. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into the navigation pane, where we have three separate sections that allow us to be efficient in managing our files and folders. The navigation pane consists of three items. The very top you have the home. Then the second section, you have the quick access features as well as recent folders that have been accessed. And the third section is content folders that are located on this PC as well as any external hard drives that you have attached to your computer and the network. Let's look at each. The home will show you the recommended items. It will show you favorites and it shows anything that you have shared with anyone. The second is called the gallery. This shows the various screen clippings or screenshots that you have taken. On the right, you will see the month and the year. When you click and drag down, it will navigate to the various months and the year. Then you have your OneDrive. When your OneDrive is synced, you will be able to access all of the files and the folders. The next section is called your desktop, which also is referred to as your quick access area, because these items, the downloads, documents, pictures, they allow you to quickly access the items in these folders. The downloads will show you all of the items that you have downloaded. You have documents, which is the common area to save files and folders. Then you have pictures. Within pictures, you can also create folders and subfolders to better manage your photos. For example, you may find it helpful to create a folder based on a year. Maybe you find it better to have January 2025, February 2025. It just depends on the amount of photos that you are developing. Then you have music. Then you have videos. And then you have a folder here that is called Job Leads. The reason why I bring this up to you is because if you look on the right, there is a pin button attached to each one. The pin button means this is pinned to the quick access bar. If there is an item that you do not want pinned, for example, let's say I do not want the Job Leads folder pinned, you right-click on the item and then you select Unpin from Quick Access. And then it is removed. Let's go to Documents, and let's pretend there's a different folder I want pinned. I will right-click on the 2024 folder and then select Pin to Quick Access. Now that folder is pinned. This is a great way for you to have those folders that you work with most frequently at your fingertips. The next section is this PC. You will notice that for each item there is a right arrow. The right arrow means that there is more content underneath. When you click on it, it will expand the window and you can see what is underneath this PC. In this situation, we have Windows, a Seagate hard drive, and my Wonder Woman flash drive. When you click on the right arrow, it's going to give you all of the folders that are underneath this particular storage location. When you do not see a right arrow, such as 3 jobs, that means there's no more subfolders. There's only files. When you click on a folder that does not have anything in it, such as Canvas Tips, you will see the items that are in it. You will also look at the address bar so you can see the actual file path. When you click on a folder that has a right arrow, you can see the additional folder that is underneath. When I click on this folder, you again can see the contents, and again you see the items in the address bar. What is convenient about this feature is that when you want to move items from one folder to another, when you expand the folders and when you navigate to the location that has the file, you can simply drag and drop. Here's an example. I'm going to click on the down arrow for one resume so that I can collapse it. Then I will click on To Excel and then click on Adult Learning Strategies. Let's pretend that I want to move this file, W41 Word Basics, and I want to move it into a different location. You click on the file, and then on the left in the navigation pane, expand any folder that has subfolders in which you want to move the file into. For example, I'll click on Chats. Do not click, well, let me back up a little bit. If you want to move the W4 file into Excel Chapter 1, you will notice Excel Chapter 1 has no subfolders. So therefore, you can just click, hold, and drag and drop it into the Excel Chapter 1 folder. But if you have a folder and a subfolder, then you put your mouse, for example, on Chats to expand the folder. So then you put your mouse over the file, click, hold, and drag it on top of the folder that you want it to. So I will go ahead and click, hold, and drag it, and I will dump it right on top of Chats, which means within Chats, there's going to be content plus a folder. So when you click on Chats, you can see there it is. There's a W4 file and there's a subfolder, which is a zipped folder as well. And that is how you can effectively manage and move content from one location to another using the navigation pane with expanded folders. The next item is the recycle bin. The recycle bin is an excellent tool for you to retrieve any files or folders that you have deleted on your PC. Unfortunately, if you have deleted any files or folders from your flash drive or a USB, the recycle bin will not work. The recycle bin is specifically for items that you have deleted on your PC. Let's take a look at some examples. In the documents, I have a folder that is called a sample folder. And here I have a Part A folder. I will right-click on it and select Delete. This is on my PC, so when I go to my recycle bin, there should be no problem in retrieving it. I will open up my recycle bin, and here it is, Part A. To restore this folder, right-click and select Restore. You also have the option on the command bar to select Restore the selected items, and here is where it can be convenient in your view to choose the item checkboxes so that you can check those particular items that you want to restore. All of the items in your recycle bin are taking up storage space. So if you know for sure that you want to empty your recycle bin, then click on Empty Recycle Bin. But warning, once it's deleted, once you select this feature, all of those items are permanently removed. You can also select Restore All Items. That's in the event you have cleared your recycle bin and maybe you've had a few items that you deleted, and then you recognize that you made a mistake. You can select Restore All Items. But this is a powerful tool for you to do a global restore, or you can restore selected items. So now let's go to my flash drive. And now I'm going to click on a file to delete it. So I'll open up a folder, One Resume. So I will right click on this copy and select Delete. You want to delete this? Yes. Now when I minimize this and open up my recycle bin, you will notice it does not show up. Also, if you have many items in your recycle bin, you can always click in the Search Recycle Bin box and type. So I will type customer service, and nothing is showing up. Again, if you have anything on your flash drive, anything you delete on your flash drive cannot be restored from the recycle bin. So this is a great feature. Take a look at it, explore, play with it, and know that Windows 11 has this powerful tool to help you restore those items you may have accidentally deleted. And that is the recycle bin. And that concludes our lesson for File Explorer. Give it a try, have some fun, and have a great day.